Hello, aloha, folks. Welcome to another episode of Pablo at the Beach, or Pablo Investment Market Analysis. And here we're going to be talking about why is the market pumping. The market has just given some crucial signals, and I think it's important to understand for folks in my Discord or in the market in general who are watching my videos. Why is the market doing this, and should we trust his bull move? So, for example, we're going to be looking at okay, so basically in the last 12 hours or so, Bitcoin has made this pump. So I was originally expecting a pullback to 39 ish and then take off, but then it only got to about 40.4. So low 40s ish. This is usually, I've been able to call a few of these moves up and down. Usually it's easier to call these moves when the market is sort of flattish. When it's flattish, there's no outside forces pushing the Bitcoin market or the stock market, then it's just the market makers, right? Then you can basically just rely on the market makers to make the moves. So they'll do sometimes short squeezes, they'll sometimes do long squeezes. Now, when there is a long squeeze at 39K, and that's what I was expecting, and it didn't happen, and it got pushed up, then that means there's forces outside that's larger than the market makers that's actually making it work. So it's not a random move right now. And what is that force? Right now, basically, the explanation is, it's not always true, but the explanation is that this stable quant, the Korean genius who co-founded Luna, Terra Luna, has basically pledged to buy 10 billion Bitcoins as the reserve. And he started buying like 1.2 billion or something. It's so far like 30 million at a time or something. So basically it's pushing up the price of Bitcoin, and that pump was attributed to him. So overall, where is Bitcoin going? Was that a surprise to us? Well, I think if you've been following my videos or if you're in my Discord, you would have probably seen that all this time, basically, I have been saying that this is the chart. Maybe if I can make it larger. This is the chart that I have been posting in my Discord from about a week ago. I've been saying it's going to break out of this downward wedge. And as you can see, that was like the 9th of March. And then basically a retest. Didn't go quite as low as I'd like. And then explore somewhere around here. The reason why is because many charters see charts differently. This is just the way I see it. It's one way of interpreting. Of course, as you know, I don't get it right 100%. Nobody does. The way I see it right now, Bitcoin is in a flag formation, right? This sort of slightly rising flag formation is going to bounce up, touch the top of the flag range, and then come down and retest the bottom range with a chance of breaking down. Now, here's the chart itself. Let's see. I'm using the 3-day chart, so you can see it more clearly. Basically, we have this channel where it was going down, never broke it, then broke it here around the early Feb. Then it's been just going sideways in this rising, what I would call rising channel. Some people draw it as a wedge. Some people draw it, as a horizontal line here. The point is basically we can expect probably a move to around here, 46, 47, right? This is where all the tops are, 46, 47. And you could even make a case of saying it could get to around 48, 49. And then there's a even higher, we can see this line of resistance around 52, 53. And that was originally the big breakdown. I think many people saw me making a video saying if we break 53 here, that's the support line. See this massive support line of 53? If it breaks here, then Bitcoin's in a lot of trouble. So because it goes all the way back to when Bitcoin crashed to $3,000 during the pandemic, basically this is where the line of resistance is, or support is. When 53K broke, it basically came down to 32. Now it's going, I wouldn't say sideways, slightly rising, and then basically might pierce or break up here. And then if that does happen, then it's around 52, 53. That's the major resistance. For now, 45, 40 to 48, high 40s, 47. That would be the next major resistance. So why do I not think Bitcoin has made a real bottom and should just keep on continue going up? For a couple of reasons. I'm about to explain why do I think it's going to turn down. Well, for one, basically, if we look at this formation here, it comes down here, right? Makes a bottom at 32.8, 32.9, then bounces up. Usually there's like a triple bottom or a double bottom. This bottom at 34 is a fair bit higher. Is a fair bit higher than this bottom. Usually to build a stable base for another attack, you wanted to do something like this and then go up, or something like this and go up. Can it do a V bottom and go straight up? Yes, it can. I'll show you where it does do that. So a V bottom happens. See, this is when the COVID crash happened. This is the V bottom. A V bottom, why is it called a V bottom? It has to look like a V, right? It looks like a V. Usually, bottoms tend to be like W bottoms. So basically, see, for example, this bottom here, we had back in May, we had 1, 2, 3, and 4 tests and a fake out and then go up. Here, it just, I don't know, I could be wrong, but the structure doesn't seem to be like a stable structure to me. Basically, we had a bottom here, it's not quite a V bottom, and then a higher bottom. Usually, you get some sort of bounce and then breakdown of this. See, this is the parallel blue flag. Break down here and then test it again. So the next test target will be around 30 to 28. Could be wrong. If it breaks 52, 53 here, then it's off to the races and it'll try to get into the 60s again. And then we're looking at possibly the start of a, confirmation of some sort of a bull market. For now, basically, my best forecast is touching the upper ranges around here, 47, 48, maybe even low 50s, and then back down to about 39, 38 to test here again. Lower range of the flag, and then likely to break down. So why am I pessimistic? Why am I not thinking this move could go all the way? This is the start of a new bull market. Yeah, Bitcoin to the moon, 100K. I'm actually a very, very optimistic person. People who don't know me, you got to think like this. If you're trading the markets, you got to think to make inductions or analysis of a person or a thing or a stock or a crypto from what little information you've been given, and get more out of it from what the market gives you. Now, people think I'm pessimistic just because I've been calling for Bitcoin to go down. That's just because I'm realistic. How many people do you know actually says, yeah, I'm just going to act in Marvel movies? Well, I'm one of them. I don't think I'm a pessimist. I say what I say for a reason. So I do see a bounce coming, but it's not necessarily that I see Bitcoin going to all-time highs again above 69K. And I'll explain why. The reason is this. Basically, if we look at what the Fed has been saying, if you've been watching my past videos, whether it's the long videos on TikTok, on YouTube, or the short videos on TikTok, I've been saying that the most important thing to watch is that Fed is going to do something called QT, not this rate hike stuff. Rate hiking, they're really pussyfooting around with 0.25 rate hikes. It means nothing. So, by the way, this video is going out to my Discord VIPs first, and then it'll come back to YouTube and all the other social platforms for free after a few days. So basically, Bostic is one of the Fed chairmen, and he said yesterday that they're going to do QT, and I think they are hinting strongly they're going to do it starting in May. They're going to announce how much QT they're going to do on May the 4th. May the 4th is the next meeting. They're saying they're going to raise 50 basis points, which is what Fed Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell is saying, and they might do 50. Like, it's possible. I'm not saying they will, but it's possible. They could do 50 basis point rate hikes, 3 of them in a row. All right. Some people like, what's his name? One or two of those more hawkish Fed presidents have been calling that. Anyways, I'm more concerned with what's called QT. As you know, if you've been watching my videos, that's called quantitative tightening, which means basically you are taking money out of the markets rather than injecting money into the markets. Remember how everyone said, buy Bitcoin because they're going to because they print a lot of money. Because remember that famous meme of Jerome Powell just printing money. Well, guess what? The opposite is happening. He's very pissed off now. He knows you've made memes about him, and he's very pissed off now, and he's doing the opposite of that. He's rolling the printer backwards, so all the money's been sucked backwards. Now, let's see what Fed Bostic said. Bostic, which is one of the Fed presidents, said the balance sheet reduction, which means selling bonds or letting the maturities roll off, just a technicality, and which means taking money systematically, mechanically out of the market back into the Fed. So now it says it should happen quickly and faster than last time. What do they mean by last time? Well, as I explained in my previous YouTube videos, last time refers to 2017, 2018 when they first started tightening. And now they're saying, and we can expect symmetry of scale relative to last time. They're not, he's very careful to not give you actual exact numbers of how much they're going to do. But we can have a pretty good guess of how much they're going to do. Oh, look at this. A little curlew has just come up next to me. If you're wondering what's making that noise, that's the little curlew bird next to me. So thank you for that little contribution. But we will try to get back on with analyzing the Fed. So basically, let's see. This is what we were saying last time. Last time, how much were they QTing? The number is here. It's very famous, actually, what they did. This is Donald J. Trump. He wrote this tweet, and it's famous. He says, "I hope that the people at the Federal Reserve will read today's Wall Street Journal before they make yet another mistake. Also, don't let the market become any more illiquid than already is. Stop with the 50 Bs." Donald J. Trump, that's Donald Trump saying stop with the 50 Bs. What do he mean by that? Well, Donald is basically saying that basically there are $50 billion being taken out of the market every day. And he's not happy with that. Let me just, give me 1 sec. Can you all see this? See this little, see, that's him. That's my little friend, the curlew. Oi! Oi! Can you see him moving? If you didn't see him before. Oh, wait, where are you going? Hey! All right, let's not disturb him. Okay, we will get back to analyzing the markets. So stop with the 50 Bs. And he even said it. He's no dum-dum. He's got good economic advisors. He says, don't let the market become any more illiquid. What does that mean? Illiquid means the opposite of liquid. Liquid means basically all this money is... Remember the term people say the market is awash with liquidity, awash with money right now. The Fed's printed all this money. Now they're withdrawing that money at $50 billion a month. That means the market is becoming illiquid. Illiquid means not much money going around. Who's going to be buying? If there's $50 billion less in the market from the institutions, from the banks, who's going to be buying? Who's going to... When you go and make a trade with a broker, if you want to use leverage, you're borrowing that money and you have to pay them interest, right? In your leverage account. If there's not much money around, interest rates go up. You have to borrow using high interest rates, or there might not be much money for you to borrow, full stop. So how would there be people buying, say, $1 million worth of stocks using $200,000 worth of money? There's no leverage. It works on a multiplier effect. So how much can we expect this time with the Fed balance sheet reduction, or QT? Now, he said something called symmetry. Remember last time they were at here. You can see that's see here? $4.5 trillion, right? $4.5 trillion. The Fed balance sheet, that's the blue line. We kept on referring to this in my previous video, so we all know this. And they QT'd at $50 billion a month, until they got down to about here, right? So basically, as we can see, that's let's see when the Trump tweet was made. The Trump tweet, oh, it's here. The Trump tweet was made, where is it? Hang on 1 sec. So the Trump tweet was made, we can see here, 18th of December 2018. And let's look at 18th of December 2018. So 2018, let's blow this up. Okay, this is a better scale. 18th of December. 18th. See, this is the 17th. Wow. So Trump made this tweet at the exact bottom of the market because he can't take it anymore, and he says, stop with the 50 beats. Look what happened here. This is the week where SP 500 fell 20%, as we've shown in previous videos, because there's a lot of QT, and Bitcoin went from 20,000, right? Look at the most right scale here, 20,000, all the way down to 3,000, right? 3,200. So we've all seen this before. So what does that mean? If they had $4.5 trillion of balance sheet, Fed asset balance sheet here, and they were QTing $50 billion a month, how much do you think they will do this time? Now, let me give you a clue. So if we thought 4.5 trillion was a lot, look where the blue line is at now. It's now at $9 trillion. See this number here? Right? $9 trillion. So it's twice as much. Does that mean then they're going to be QTing twice as much, which is $100 billion? $100 billion a month. It's possible. So let's be conservative. Let's say when he says, we've got to match it with scale. That's because remember, that's what they're saying. There's got to be, it's what he says, there's got to be symmetry of scale, right? Scale means how large something is, like 50 billion, 100 billion. Symmetry means there's symmetry. It was 4.5 trillion here. Now it's $9 trillion in bonds. So why don't we in Fed balance sheet? So why don't we QT twice as much? Because balance sheet is twice as much. Then by symmetry of scale, does that mean the reduction will be not 50 billion but twice as large, 100 billion a month? Okay, so I'm not saying that is the number. I think the markets, I've been reading a lot of Wall Street analysts, they seem to think the number is something like 80 to 85 billion. Because 80 to 85 billion times 12 gets you somewhere around $1 trillion. It's a nice round number, $1 trillion a year. And the way they arrive at that number is this. They basically say, okay, the Federal Reserve essentially has $9 trillion of balance sheet, and they need to get that back to normal. What is normal? Someone took a punt, and it's a conservative estimate. They said, let's say pre-pandemic, before the COVID pandemic started around here. That's why they started printing again. So pre that pandemic, let's say 4.5 trillion or 4 trillion is something like around here. 3.8 is kind of like the normal number. If that's the normal number, then basically why don't we try to get it back to 4 trillion? Okay, but however, because the United States has been growing, because it's there's demand for more US dollars to be issued around the world, because it's a reserve currency, because if you take into account of all of that, basically then we're saying 4 trillion, 4.5 is no longer the appropriate amount. Then should be probably something like $6 trillion. Like say somewhere around here is 6 trillion. Here is 6 trillion. So we need to, that's what's considered normal now, which is crazy if you think about it. Like, because back in 2008, say 2008, there was only 0.5 trillion. And now they think 6 trillion is normal, right? 6 trillion is normal in the 2008 to now 14 years. So, which is crazy, of course. But hey, that's not, I'm not going to argue with them. I think that's what the Fed's logic probably will be. So then let's say we go with that. Then basically we are going to have to do, let's say, $3 trillion a year. We're going to have to get back to, okay, this is 2002. Let's say we start in May, and we go 3 years. So that's be 2025, May, right? 3 years, we have to do 3 trillion. Make it get down to 6 trillion. 6 trillion's here. So we have to end up, May is what? May is here. We have to end up here. That's the target, right? X marks the spot. So then look at this on a chart. Then you're looking at something pretty funny on a chart. basically that blue line, then it's going to have to do this, 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 this. Oh, sorry, I messed that up, but you get the idea. They're going to have to, keep in mind, when that blue line did this, we had a crash, a bear market in SP 500, in NASDAQ, and Bitcoin went down 85%. Now they're trying to do this over the next 3 years. And remember, this Bitcoin went down pretty much kind of at the same time as they started QTing. So just keep that in mind. And they're saying they're going to announce on May the 4th is when they're going to QT. And this time they might announce in May, but actually start doing it in July. So, that's why, or they might announce in May and just start doing it in May. So that's why you can see why I think the way I think. Now, I'm not, as I kept on saying, I don't think I'm a pessimistic person at all. Because, not too many people, I don't think anyone knows me thinks I'm pessimistic because of all the crazy adventurous things I've done in my life. And basically, it's just, I don't think a pessimistic person would be like, hey, I'm going to make movies and I'm going to be in Marvel movies. So people have gotten that wrong about me all this time. So I'm actually quite optimistic person. It's just that I think the market's going to run into a lot of trouble, both stocks and crypto and Bitcoin. So before I sign off, I just wanted to show you guys, there's a little, where are you? There's a little curlew. Huh? Hello. Oh, in the grass. Where is it? I think, there it is. Can you see it moving? There. Hello. Yeah. Well, okay, enough of bird watching from Pablo's private little island. I'd just like to say, be careful. Don't believe the hype. I could be wrong. I mean, I think there's a 5% chance Bitcoin and stocks reach, especially Bitcoin, reach new all-time highs. But think about this. If back then, in November last year, when Bitcoin got to 69,000, if the Fed was pumping lots of money, remember, Fed was still doing QE, interest rates were still at zero, inflation was still low, there was no war. If back then Bitcoin only got to 69K and there was hope of a new Bitcoin ETF coming, what is the reason you tell me that Bitcoin can get above 69K in the next 6 months when the war hasn't ended, inflation's going to be pretty high, Fed's raising rates by 50 basis points per move, and we have QT at not 50B, right? Trump couldn't take it. Please stop with the 50Bs. Now it's more like 80, 85B, conservative estimate. So we have a bounce. I think we have a bounce. I've been calling for that bounce because bad news is coming to an end. The market's anticipating 7 rate hikes. The Fed says that's what we're going to do, 7 rate hikes. The war happened, and it just might drag on for a few more weeks, a few more months. As long as there's no nuclear war, how much worse can it get? So for now, we have a relief bounce. A new bull run? I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong, but I'm just presenting all the facts. I don't see it for now. If it does happen, I'll update you guys. Keep on watching, my videos, and I'll update. Smash the like button, smash the like button, subscribe. Whatever it is they do for YouTube, and I'll update if I change my mind. But so far, I can't see that happening. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you. Have a lovely day, and I'll catch you again.